Okay, so we're gonna do some couple of training league matches now. First thing we're gonna do is select senior league and just recheck our senior team. I think so to recap here, the additions to our team that we picked up was the central defender, the older guy who is a stopgap, but we just wanted he sort of really did tick all the boxes, so to speak. So that's like, it wasn't like he was a bit of an upgrade sort of thing. He's like, he can tackle, he can mark, he's good in the air, he's fast, fastish, and which particularly was important because our defenders were so slow. So we needed something to counterbalance everything, and he can, as we get sort of different defenders that can do different things, this guy will just be able to sort of take the job or the role of whatever's left, because he can do all the different things basically. Maybe he'll be around for a week, maybe longer, maybe less. So yeah, we are sacrificing a bit of cash in. Like, it was basic, almost free to buy. It wasn't an issue. It's just the wages. So yeah, every day he hangs around, he's basically, costing us a bit of money, costing us 20,000 a day or something. But that's okay for us. So there's him, and we picked up this DMC. So quite solid. So yeah, we've set him in the destroyer role. We made that changed. We reconfigured our backline to bring this jack of all trades and a half in. And we did get the AMC in the end, and we decided to leave him offset just for the fact that this was the formation and had the lots of triangles when it's offset. So we'll go with that, but yeah, like we're saying, the main reason as well is because the player that was previously here, we didn't want shooting, so it wasn't that big a deal that he wouldn't get as good shooting angles for the long shots. But now it might be, but we'll just play that by ear. And we changed it from advanced playmaker to creative forward role. And the other player we bought was this striker that's on the bench that I probably just want to start, to be honest, because this guy is 30. He's only going to get worse. And yeah, he's pretty decent for now. But, and arguably he would still be pretty decent in a division or two above. But the issue is, by the time we're there, he'll be worse. So we probably just don't really want to bother with this. Like, we're okay to use him until we get better players. But the thing is, we've bought a player that we do want around long term. I feel like we just want to start this guy regardless. And just sort of trying to make this guy work instead. So I think the difference with this guy is that he is less well-rounded than the other player, but he is really good at specific things. Like, he's got super high flare, he's better in the air, like speed, but he's not quite as good at shooting. But he has got high composure, so he would be good for the close range chances, which he can run onto. So I feel like this guy in particular, plus he's got the long shots, he can get involved in the. I don't know. I feel like he's quite a bit to work with. He does have the low endurance, so we may need to sub him off near the end anyway. But we've got a decent striker we're happy to bring on. I just wonder if he should stay with the poacher role, or should we want him involved in the build-up more? We are happy for people to cross it to him, which, so there's that. I think we're going to leave it. I think the other options are maybe target man, maybe striker as well. Just do it all. But we'll leave it as poacher for now. I think just mostly because he can pass, he can be involved. I don't know. To be honest, he's not the best poacher at all. I'm going to change him just to striker. I think it's better to start with that, maybe that, be more generic, and then in the match maybe we can change it. But I think that's okay. We're happy for people to cross it to him. We're happy for him to get we're happy for him to be involved in the build-up, especially now. Like before, for example, the AMC couldn't shoot, so if the striker ended up with the ball, we were more happy for him to just focus on scoring. But now we're sort of happy for him to pass it to the AMC back, and the AMC to have a shot potentially. So let's change that to striker. So we'll run with that. So I think now the issue is we got a bit more to the team. So we do have the tactical instructions. I think the question really is, we're still happy with the... We could potentially play a deeper defensive line now because we do have faster attacking players. But I would be inclined to not start with that, just leave it all balanced. I think the other big one that changes things is the tempo. I think arguably we could play with a faster tempo, leave it as what. For now, we're just going to just keep it the same, and we'll try and just, we'll be a bit dynamic, and we'll change it in the match. Now, in this first training league season, the matches are against bot teams. It's like a controlled difficulty sort of level. So you have time to work your tactics out, to recruit players, to build your team up. In your second season, when you're there for the full month, you will be in the division, and your players, you will be playing sort of PvP matches. And if you need to have your team set up really, and have some extra players. You need this sort of time now to get things sorted. Obviously, if you're really good at the game, you won't need much time, but you still need a little bit. But yeah, so it's it's just a safe space for us to play some matches. The results, don't really matter that much. They matter from the perspective that it gives us a good indication of how competitive we're going to be next season. Basically, if we're constantly struggling in these matches, then we need to try and get better. If we're doing really well, then we should be okay to be able to compete next season. So it's a good guide for that. Right, it's blue and white again. Yeah, we played a blue and white team last team. I wonder if it was the same one. It's very annoying for me because I can make a lot of tactical changes. I like to sort of see what's going on, and yeah, this in particular, it just makes it hard. Like, I can definitely see when I'm focusing in on the play, I can clearly see my player, their player, etc. It's more in the peripheral. It's more when the ball's here. Like, what's the players here? So, because the spacing and positioning and stuff, it matters a lot. So, yeah. Anyway, we are winning. We created that chance straight away. We grabbed the goal. It's our new striker. It felt like the ball was played a bit in front of him, and he ran onto it. So, possibly that extra bit of speed, that extra sort of bit of speed he has over our other striker, that was all the difference there. Another great chance. So, to be honest, that was a better chance than the one that he scored. But it's another very dangerous situation on the dangerous situation count. And corners, I mean, obviously it wasn't a great, like the keeper got the corner, but the amount of set piece volume we get kind of matters as well. So you've got to factor that in. You don't want to be in regards to how valuable they are or aren't, both in winning them and conceding them. It matters a lot in regards to teams' ability to be able to score for them. But for now, just more is better as a general rule. But we're not quite sure how strong we are at either of those things yet, both scoring and defending from them. But at the moment, they've not done anything that felt like a dangerous situation. Again, I couldn't quite see all the players on the team, so I'm not sure exactly how dangerous. I felt like one of those players near the ball was ours. I'll call that a half dangerous situation, let's say. So I think we're at 2.5, something like that, and they're at 0. I'll call it half on the basis that I couldn't see entirely. This is definitely a dangerous situation. So there's 3.5. So we are completely in control of this match at the moment. We could have multiple goals. They haven't even looked close to scoring one. Another dangerous situation is turning into a penalty. Obviously, I'm not going to count the penalty as an extra dangerous situation. It's the same one. I think we're at 4.5 now. And we've scored the penalty. I mean, we're happy for that shot to be taken, but it's not an extremely dangerous situation. I think in particular, it's taken by the right player, though. I think that one was. As in the one that has the high long shots. So, but yeah, they're just the type of chance that we're happy to give up as well. If they happen to score, they happen to score. If they do, they're probably only going to they could have a few shots, and yeah, like it could be a great shot and it does score. And that could totally happen. We're constantly giving up chances like that. But we're happy to wear that at the moment, especially when we're up 2 goals, because, you know, even if they do score from it, we'll still be winning. So, right there we go. So, long shot, and that's our new AMC, who we were happy to take those long shots, interestingly. Versus the old AMC who we didn't want shooting. So, in another dangerous situation, I've lost count, to be honest. Was it 7 at this point? I think something like that. 7 to none, and 2 goals scored from them, and then a goal separately scored from the long shots. We've also had 2 corners, I think, versus their none. I mean, this match we're just completely dominating. I don't really see there's any. You know, you definitely wouldn't want to change anything. This is a type of match, though, where there are, if it wasn't, there are very key decisions still to be made, because players can get injured. So another 9 chances there. 8 or 9 very dangerous situations we've created. So at this point, what I'm going to do is I will sub off some of our more important players, because if they get injured, you know, they'll be injured. So, and we've won this match. We don't really need to win by more than 3 goals or anything like that. Winning is fine. It's more important that we care about the health of our players. Now, that was a dangerous situation, so they've had 1 now. So I think it's 9 to 1. So I count this from the perspective that a lot of like in football generally, there's another one too, by the way. So that you want to focus on things like possession and, I don't know, shot attempts and all these things. Like they want to find something like that, so they can say, I have more shot attempts, therefore I should have scored more goals, or I've had more possession, I had more passes or more possession or something. They want to find some statistic and say, because that was higher, it means I should have scored, or my team should have scored more goals, or the team that I feel in real life should have scored more goals, and sort of have this idea that if I have more possession but the other team scores more goals, right, I'm going to put him in and change him to Portugal. That is some kind of injustice has occurred, sort of thing. Whereas, and if you need to try to look for patterns and stuff, that's all fine. So all I'm really trying to say, at least from the purposes of this computer game, And in my belief, or my estimation in real life as well, the most important thing that really matters in football is the types of situations you're creating, the types of goal scoring chances, if you want to call it that. Not shots, but situations that might lead to a shot. Dangerous situations. What are those? How many of those types of situations you're creating? What are the quality of those situations? And ultimately, like what shot is resulting from that? How difficult is it? What type of shot is it? Is it a header? Is it a long shot? Is it a close range chance? Is it from an angle, etc.? And who is that chance falling to? Is it falling to someone who is really good at taking that type of chance? So what really matters is how dangerous are these situations, and who are these dangerous situations falling to, so to speak, or who is the player that would be the one that would be executing the shot. And conversely, how many of those are you giving up? And all the same questions. Now, I would arguably count that, by the way, as a really dangerous situation, just because it nearly fell to two of their players to be able to then take a very easy close-range shot there. But either way, I lost count already. We were so far ahead in regards to these. Like, we have completely dominated this match, and we've already started making substitutions with the idea of we're going to throw the other couple subs on now. Not really for any tactical reasons, but just to preserve our players. Now, having said that, like, it could be different, for example, because I have created a couple of dangerous situations. I might have scored from both of those, and right now it would be 3-2, and if it was 3-2, then we would not be about to make substitutions just to protect players. But because now, like, we're just not going to concede 3 goals, basically, with this amount of time left. So the players that we care the most about is this defender. So let's take him off. I'm just going to roll swap. Don't think it would make... I don't think it makes it. I'm just going to change him to central defender. We don't want him dropping back. And I think the other player that we really don't want to lose... it's probably the right midfielder, but we don't have any right-sided players we can swap. We might want to remedy that. I don't know, but okay, for this match we don't, so it's not a decision. The other one is the AMC, so let's just bring this other AMC on. And he... we'll leave him as the creative forward because he can shoot a little bit of everything as well, so we'll leave that. So we won't change stuff just for the sake of changing it. So... okay, I would count that as a dangerous-ish situation. But again, regardless, they had a few in the end. Maybe they had 3 or 4. 4. But you know, we had a lot in this match, and also a lot of solid. I wouldn't like chances like that one, where if you generate 5 or 6 of that type of chance, as we have, you will score a goal from probably one of them. We say you will. There's a good chance you'll score from at least one of them. There's another one there. So, and we had quite a few of those, and we did score from one of those. So, obviously, it's possible you could have 5 or 6 chances like that and not score. I'm talking about averages here, and again, it really, really matters, especially for those long shots. If they are falling to players, 1, that have high long shots, and 2, that the shooting angle is good. It's a good angle, i.e., it's from like front on. It's from front on rather than off to the sides here too much. And another big thing that can really matter is, if the keeper parries it, what the end result of that's going to be. Who's going to get the ball first? This is a very comfortable match for us. They've even had a player with a red card in the end. Ooh, hit the post. There you go. Cut back, goal. That was really, really good. And that was the MC with the higher long shots. And I mean, obviously, it was not the most difficult chance, but still, that's the MC that we've got that is attacking. and we've put through the middle. So, and you can see that chance was like right at the top of the box, smack bang in the middle, because that's exactly where we wanted the chances falling to him, and that's exactly where it fell to him. So yeah, I mean, this was very, very, very comfortable, and we created a really good flow of chances, a good variety of chances, real good mix of like, I don't know, like sort of crossing in, cutbacks and things like that. Really good, solid sort of long shot situations, like through balls for striker, like a really good variety of chances we created that game. We got a penalty. No, did we? I think we did. Man, I'm playing too many matches back to back now, starting to get mixed up. So, but yeah, we did create an excellent variety of chances. And then in regards to the individual player stats, the man of the match was this right midfielder. Look at that, 94 dribbling touches. Crazy. 5 run past opponents. He also won 4 tackles, which is just as many as any of our defenders. 3 interceptions, the most. So he got like basically tied most tackles, most interceptions, 94 dribbling touches, 5 run past opponents. Crazy. He completely dominated the match. He also had the second most pass attempts, only 1 less. I mean, this guy was subbed off, so he probably would have ended up with a bit more, but still a lot of pass attempts, good pass completion. Did it all. It was a proper conduit for everything to go through. And this MC that we were happy to take the long shots, he had 3 shot attempts in the tactic. It's set up that way. So yeah, I feel like in the end, very, very good. Interestingly, our central cover defender, who was dropping back to sweep up the loose balls, he was he got a couple of interceptions, but he also managed, had quite a bit of time on the ball with 18 dribbling touches. So that's worth that's just interesting. And as far as our defensive unit was concerned, everybody made all their tackles. Nobody missed a tackle, and we picked up quite a few interceptions. I think that's worth just bearing in mind, though, that nobody. You look as far as missed tackles in our team is concerned. The MR missed 2, fair enough, and the AML missed 1. And the MR is attacking role. So basically, when these tackles are missed, they're not. Oh, wait up, and we missed one from the substitute here. He was a defender. So yeah, it's defenders missing tackles. If that happens, it's typically speaking, your team the scope that you could be punished for that is much higher than if an attacking player misses one. Anyway, really happy with that, and we're just going to dive straight into another. Should have already started requesting. We're going to dive straight in. We'll play another one. This video, it does mean it'll probably end up running for over 30 minutes, but hopefully less than 40. Right, they are different colors. It's quite interesting though, because there's an issue, by the way, with the logic that compares if 2 colors are too similar, because if they're too similar, it's supposed to change one of the team's colors. It's quite interesting that the team that we just played, their colors are pink and yellow. So it's kind of said that the pink and yellow is too similar to yellow and blue, and instead change them to be blue and white. So yeah, that needs improvement. We need to fix that up. Hopefully this team gets left as black and red, because we will definitely be able to easily see the difference. Yes, they are. Okay, cool. We can hopefully even do better with our tactical changes this match. Right, immediately I'm noticing that they're probably playing a direct, longer style of football, and they're playing wingers. We don't have fullbacks. Another good long shot chance for us. So we just got to bear that in mind, that this sort of formation here with the wingers, it kind of naturally counters us because we don't have fullbacks. Another great chance. Another count that is one good chance, even though it was 2 shots. So we have one dangerous situation. I'm not sure. We should call them DSs or something. Let's call them DSs. I think... Yeah, so I think generally speaking, though, the real issue... I mean, I'm kind of like... Oh, okay. So they've had one as well. So it's one apiece. Count that as a half. I mean, it's weird with those crosses because obviously they fall to whoever, but count that as a half one. So they're 1.5, we're 1. On the whole, it's we had a good long shot as well. I'd say it's kind of in the balance. We're happy to keep. I mean, yeah, like again, you look and it's like they've only had 1 shot, but by my estimation, they're more in control than what we are at the moment. It's quite close though. We might be looking to change something, but like I said, I think they naturally counter us, unfortunately, because we don't have fullbacks and they've got AML and AMR, but there's nothing we can do about that because we don't, not really. We just got to focus on other stuff. Alright, I feel like this is a good spot. Okay, so that was really good. That was a great chance. So 2 to 1.5. Still pretty balanced. I'd say at the moment, I'm going to pause it because I feel like we can change something at this point without it being too risky. We can try something because I kind of feel like they're pushing up a little bit too much. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to change the tempo to fast and change it to direct and change it to into space just to give it a try and just see if knocking it into this space, because it feels like they're giving us some space. So we'll just try and exploit it like they just did to us. And luckily, I think that was our new defender, the one guy who wasn't slow that managed to save us there. So yeah, but I feel like they're right, another half chance. Yeah, so let's have a look. We still haven't managed to really, since we made that change, it's kind of just all been them, so we haven't really managed to find anything out yet. Okay. Yeah. We'll leave it for now. I just want to get a feel for if that's great. Ooh. Okay, yeah. I think oh, I lost count. I think we maybe had an extra one over them, but it's very close this game at the moment. It could definitely just go either way. Yeah, definitely our striker is much quicker, so hopefully we will just get a good through ball, because there's plenty of space. So at this moment we're kind of just waiting for that one great ball. I mean, one issue that we've got is we don't really have great distributors from back. There you go. Okay, so I'm just going to pause now because just to take stock, just because we're winning, and we've got a bunch of pause time, and we don't want to concede a goal at this point. If we could have avoided it, and I do feel like at the moment it's kind of just like they could easily just score. They could easily just score. So we just right. I'm just going to change this back because at the end of the day, it didn't really create anything much for us, and we did. I mean, we scored, but it wasn't off the back of any of those instructions. It was just off of a long shot that type of chance that we were getting before anyway. So, and it is causing us to surrender the ball really fast over and over and over again, and inviting a lot of pressure. So I kind of feel like we're causing the game to be having like a yo-yo effect, let's say, to go back and forth a lot via our instructions, and we don't really want it to go back and forth anymore because we're winning. So we're sort of happy for it to be the opposite of that, to sort of have as least amount happening as possible. So yeah, I'll just change that. And yeah, and again, to some degree, we were lucky that we scored the long shot, but it's not entirely luck, not really, not at all, because these long shots that we're creating, they are falling to specific players. Like, we've created our tactic in such a way that it will generate long shot chances in good places for specific players. Like, we did that. So yeah, to some degree, it is lucky when you score one, but to some large degree also we are making our own luck here. We're creating an environment to maximize to attempt to maximize our chances of being able to score from these chances. So obviously we're just attempting. All you can ever do is your best here, and I think the rule, maybe if you want to make a rule, which I would say is something like just, in the end, whatever you do here, you're never going to do anything optimally. You're always going to do things suboptimal. Just try. All you can really do is just try to do things more optimal than suboptimal, so to speak. Like, try to do things that help more than they hinder. And on the whole, all I would really say is just try to pay attention and try to change things for a reason, for a specific purpose, for a specific outcome or goal in mind. So that could score as well. Just try to change it with a specific sort of outcome, a specific idea, let's say, and just sort of try to see if it works. If you change something and you're like, well, I want this to happen or whatever, it doesn't matter if you win. It matters if you win the game or not. But in the context of trying to make changes and trying to improve and get better, what really matters is if. Sorry, just had to cough. What really matters is if what you were trying to do worked. Nah. Sorry, I just had to use inhaler. Right. So, where does this leave us now? Not in a good spot. I think he got a knock. Oh, sorry, I wasn't even paying attention to that. They scored. Now, I feel like at this point we're happy for the yo-yo because we want to try and win. And we got a couple of minutes still, with a few minutes with this guy still having some condition. So we'll just try and do that. Yeah, this guy picked up on that's really bad for us because now he's going to be injured. Okay. I guess we'll get him out. And this guy, central defender. We'll swap them around. Okay. We might end up losing here. What a bad feeling. And we have we've still got 2 subs. We will have to sub off this striker. So we're just trying to get a little bit out of him before we do. One last through ball. And I don't know if we're going to get it. Okay, it's time for him to come off. And unfortunately at MR we really would want to be subbing him off, but we got no right-sided players. We did say we would think about that after the first match, and we just didn't. We just dove straight into the next match. So he's still doing alright here. Oof. Okay, so we're going to sub the striker, and we're going to change this back. Okay, let's roll with this for now. I just realised one thing that I probably should do. I'm going to stop this video now, unfortunately, because the game just crashed.